Hey everyone, happy holidays, happy Friday. This is Finance Friday, where we transform your relationship with your money by giving you the information that you need to help you grow and protect your wealth. I am Amy Novakovich, and this is Ryan Wilson.
Hey everybody.
Check us out on Twitter at Nova Wealth Management, and management's abbreviated, MGMT. Instagram, we'll be doing lives and all kinds of great videos on Instagram. That's different from our YouTube channel. Subscribe there because we're definitely going to start posting more content that's on YouTube that's not on the other social media platforms. And check us out on, what am I missing?
Twitter? Did you say Twitter?
I said Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Facebook. Yes, check out our Facebook page, and we post some awesome facts there as well. I say happy holidays. This is the time where we all kind of check out. From now to the end of the year, we all kind of go into this timeout mode. We're spending time with family. We're thinking about giving. This is such an awesome time of year. It's also
It's the most wonderful time of year.
It's the most, yeah. It's also a time where we can shovel everything. Sweep. Sweep or shovel if you're in snow.
Yeah.
Or not in Florida.
Thank goodness.
Sweep everything under the rug and kind of run from our problems.
Yeah, but don't do that.
Running from your problems is not a New Year's resolution. So when it comes to finances, we know the first thing that you do is shut down. You mentioned like your personality is to confront things head on.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like most people are that way with your finances especially. I don't feel like you confront your finances. Instead, you just say, you know what, I'll worry about it later. I'm not going to worry about that right now because there's nothing I can do about it. How many times have you put these justifications in your head? So, we're going to walk you through a process today so that you can start off the new year right. We're going to go over what is exactly your trigger. What are some things we can do about it starting day one at the beginning of the year? And then at the end of it, we're going to give you some higher level solutions as to how to overcome those objections.
Yeah. We want 2019 to be the best year of your life.
This is your year.
This is it.
This is
so we got to start it off.
Let's make it your year because your finances don't go away. Like I was just saying, I was like, I feel like people worry about what isn't going to matter in the next year. Like you're going through something, I've been through a divorce. Like even a divorce, like in 5 years, I don't know, I guess it could still matter, but it's not going to matter for sure, for certain. We worry about things that aren't going to matter in 5 years. Your finances are going to matter in 5 years. They're going to matter in 10 years. They're going to matter in 30 years.
And even more.
It's a certainty, and even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a certainty it's going to get worse. So let's talk about some triggers.
Yeah.
What do you think some triggers are?
So I think that some triggers that make people just kind of reduce and get, kind of curl into a ball and don't want to talk about it. Is that like, so I think that a big one is that they don't know. Like, they don't know, they don't have the information. And so, we tend to hide when we don't know or maybe don't want to know. Yeah. Right? Because ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. We feel like if we actually do know, now we must do something about it.
Right. Or if we know and then don't know anything, and then don't do anything about it, then it adds to our stress. It adds to our lack of sleep. Yeah.
You want to de-stress your life. If this is around the holidays, we're talking about de-stressing. Like, I feel like not knowing is so easily fixable, too. I think the other part of the trigger is that it's like, not only do I not know, but I don't even know how to fix it, so I'm not going to bother. So if you have a computer or you have the internet, chances are you can educate yourself. Or if you have a phone, chances are you can pick up the phone and call somebody and just educate yourself. You'll learn more than an hour. Or watch our lives and just educate yourself. Entertainment, our podcast. We should put this on our podcast, actually. Our podcast is The Nova Wealth Show. That's what I was missing.
That's the one.
We'll put this on our podcast, The Nova Wealth Show, and while you're driving, you don't need internet. Actually, you can just download it to your phone and listen and educate yourself. There's so many ways today that we can educate ourselves, and that alone will help fix a lot of your financial stress.
Well, I think, too, it's important to kind of shed a light on the fact that financial situations being a stressor is not just you. You're not the only one feeling that way. And I think a lot of times we get caught up in kind of again, kind of
why me?
Yeah, why me? Or no one else has this problem, so I just got to figure it out on my own. I think so often we do that. And the reality is even people that feel good about their finances and that feel good about whether it's retirement or planning or whatever that is, they still stress. The majority of people, whether they feel good or bad about their finances, the difference in the stressors is not that different. So people that feel good about their finances, about 65% of those people still stress about their finances. People that don't feel good about it, it's only 72.
And this was from a survey
yes,
that
John Hancock did.
Did a retirement
and
survey
they surveyed
of
like
all their
1,500 people.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's a lot of people. So that's a pretty good amount of people to know that even if they felt good about it, they still stressed about 65% of them. And then 72% of people that didn't feel good still stressed about it as well.
Yeah.
So you'd think that it's a bigger gap, but it's just that everyone has to some extent stress. So we want to find ways that we can keep those stresses away.
Do you do something about it or
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
That's the difference. It's like you could be sitting here watching here and be like, well, I'm in so much debt. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm in so much debt. Whatever. I'm going to do what I want to do. I have to, I'm trying to think of something that I just must do. Oh, I have to, a medical bill. Like I owe it. So you know what? I'm not even going to bother trying to see, if I could cut a deal with them, if I could try to owe less, if I could try to cut it into monthly payments. I owe it. I'm going to just, whatever. I'll figure it out later.
Yeah.
Or, I think it's a matter of everybody has the financial stress. It's a matter of do you educate yourself enough to do something about it or do you not do something about it? And that's a huge differentiator in people that are successful and people that stay where they're at or they're not successful. Another thing is debt. I think we talked about it. So one of the financial stressors obviously is just education. You don't know enough. And the other one is debt, just being in astronomical amounts of debt. And there's some really, really simple ways you can fix that, guys. I'm not going to erase the debt overnight, but there's so many different resources on the podcast, the Finance Friday, as far as how to manage your interest rates. We have courses that we're releasing. Actually, we have 7 courses, and one of them is all about debt and how to restructure it, how to definitely work on your payments and get out of debt, because it's not going away.
Yeah.
It's just not leaving you. So it's a matter of if you do something about it or not. Another one is education.
Yeah, I think just a lot of people and people don't know. Well, no, the education being that they don't know about. Like, what do? They don't have any idea. They don't have anybody that they have told them how to get out of debt.
I was talking about education like student loans. Or
so that's more.
Should I get my master's?
Yeah, so that's more.
Like some people stay in college
forever.
Yeah.
Just so they don't have to face the world.
Just so they don't have to be.
I think that's true.
An adult.
Yeah.
As bad as that sounds, but it's like I want to go get my master's, and it's like a master's. I'm sure is really great, but you're just prolonging the inevitable.
Yeah. Right.
I hate to say it like that, but it's just kind of like, it's prolonging that. But so education, as far as what I was saying,
right, is whether or not to be more educated at a school, college, master's degree.
Yeah. But what you were saying.
What I was saying is that people don't talk about it. They tend to shy away from facing their problems or their stressors with finances because they just don't know. And a couple weeks ago, we talked about some ways that you can look to the internet for help, or maybe some ways that you shouldn't look to the internet for help. So maybe watch that video.
Yeah.
But there are things you need to educate yourself. Being naive or being not knowing is not an excuse, and it's not something that what's better, stressing about something that you don't even know what you're stressing about. You're just stressing about finances because you don't know, or knowing and then being like, well, I can either then choose to stress about it or I can do something about it. And that's kind of all of these kind of wrap up into know more so that you can do something, because you're only stressing. Oh, this is another thing we talked about is that but something we talked about was that the result is never as bad as what you're thinking.
Oh,
so
sure.
So if you think, if it's keeping you up at night and you're thinking, oh my gosh, my life is over and my finances are never going to be fixed and I'm just going to keep taking on debt, or if it's something personally that's just keeping you up at night, it's never as bad as you're thinking. Really the reality is that
well, that's the difference between, I was listening to one of my devotionals, What's the difference between worry and anxiety?
Yeah.
Worry is actually worrying about something concrete that is actually happening in your life, like right now, something that you must worry about. Worry doesn't have to be a negative term. It just means you have to take action because you're going through it. I got a bill in the mail. I have to do something. I have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I have to be concerned. I have to make a call to see if I owe it. I have to make a call to see if I can cut the balance in half. Anxiety is something that we create by thinking about the end result. Right. We're creating this anxiety of, oh my gosh, like it's just going to be this bad if I actually call. Or it's going to be this bad if I actually take action. Or if I educate myself, then oh my gosh, then it's going to be like this. That's anxiety. You're creating that. So the difference between worry and anxiety applies to finances as well. And we can sit here and say, like, educate yourself and things like that, but we want to give you some actual takeaways. Yeah. So let's talk about how to be successful. And one of the big things that we have for 2019 is apps.
Yeah.
And we mentioned some, like, sporadically throughout Finance Fridays, but let's focus right now on, we have quite a few apps that you could actually have your whole holiday paid for next year if you start right away in the year, right in January. So we want to set you up to be successful for that. And you don't have to budget, you don't have to do it, you just have to put in a little effort.
Yeah, so to keep from being stressed is to prepare. And so one way to prepare is for future holidays, whether it's birthdays or Valentine's Day or the next Christmas. You know, you have a whole year that if you start in January using some of these apps, then you can potentially have at least a portion, if not, depending on how much you usually budget for yourself, you could have potentially all of your holidays and Christmas paid for.
Use the holidays. There's so many promotions, like a massage place will be like buy 3 get 2 free or whatever. You know you're going to have like a wedding or a bridal shower, a baby shower. You're going to have gifts that you're going to have to buy. Why not be preventative and prepare for that and get one for free, 1 or 2 for free? That's hundreds of dollars right there that you can utilize by just preparing for the inevitable.
Yeah. The caveat to that, though, is that if you're going to be putting it on a credit card, don't do that because unless you're going to pay it off every month.
Unless you're going to pay.
So unless you're
going to apps nowadays or the credit cards, you can pay for specific transactions.
Yeah. So unless you're going to pay it off at the end of that month,
so it doesn't cost you interest.
You're going to end up paying. If you're paying it off monthly on your minimum payment, you're going to almost be paying for all of them anyway. So just buy what you can.
But let's get to some of the apps.
Yeah. So
I use Honey. So Honey, I got this from one of my clients. It's awesome. And you just download it either on your computer or your phone. And when you shop, Honey searches through all the coupons on the internet and applies them right then and there.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And all you have to do is download the app. Yes, they're probably gathering your information for some list.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Your information's already taken.
Yeah, it's already done. It's already out there.
Yeah.
So I say download it. Every time I go to Amazon, it double checks that that's the cheapest price. Like if you go to like Lowe's.com, it'll pop up and see if it's cheaper at Walmart or Target or whatever.
Yeah.
Automatically for you. I use Honey.
Yeah, and Ebates is one that if you go through the app or through the website, they'll find deals for you, and they send you money back. And so it's just another one that you can. And then I think with that one, you actually take gift cards.
Yeah.
And you can basically redeem gift cards, and then it's free money. You were gonna buy that thing anyway. You were gonna buy those gifts or whatever they are, or clothes for yourself. If you're doing online shopping, you're gonna buy them anyway. So might as well get some money back for it, and then you can put that towards the holidays. Birthdays, Christmas. Whatever that is.
Ibotta is another one that's in the grocery store. So every week they have promotional items, and you can star like favorite items that you have, and you just get dollars off of your favorite items. So like sometimes it can be pretty impactful on Ibotta, and it racks up cash. Like it just gives you cash. It's amazing. Shopkick, I'm not really familiar. Beth gave us that one, but she said Shopkick is another one to download that she uses to pay for her holiday stuff. Checkout 51 is it's similar to Ibotta. I use that one as well. And you can actually get cash from that one. And then Fetch is another way to get gift cards as well. You just upload your receipt and it goes towards gift cards. So these are all apps that are just at your fingertips that you're basically, if you don't do it, you're just saying, I don't need that $100. I don't need that few $100. And over time, guys, if I were to really break it down and say that $100 that you didn't think you needed, that you could have also put away, if you didn't need it, you could have saved it. And then over the next 30 years compounded, that's thousands of dollars that you said you didn't need. So remember that when your future self says, man, why don't I have enough money? Yeah. That's the money that you are throwing away. Yeah.
Do something today that future you will thank you for.
There you go. Absolutely. So I some of the triggers that we talked about again is obviously debt, just not knowing enough, your spending, just not, being aware of your spending. It's like, oh, it triggers my stress. I don't know what I want to do. We got into actually what some apps you can use right at the beginning of the year to start saving for the holidays and to start be prepared for birthdays and for financial things that come up. And definitely go check out our other Finance Fridays and other YouTube videos as far as more resources on how to get out of debt and how to control your spending. And I mean, we have resources all over the place on all this to help combat your financial triggers, because I promise you, if you do nothing, this will haunt you 10 times more for every year that you wait. It's not going away. It's one of those things that isn't actually going away, unlike other things that we worry about that probably won't matter in like a year.
Yeah. Or maybe don't even matter now.
Or it may not even matter now. Ask yourself, like, will this matter in a year? I remember my dad used to say that when I was really young. Like, will this matter in tomorrow?
Yeah.
You know, like, think about what will matter.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So have a happy holiday. Next week we won't be here live, so we'll play you a replay, possibly even this replay, but we'll play a replay next week, and then we will see you in the new year,
2019.
2019.
Here we come.
Yay! Happy holidays, guys. Thanks
Have
so
a great
much.
weekend.